The victims. Your wife is dead. The 4 simple words that have ruined so many lives forever. But you shouldn't be hearing them from a policeman on the end of the phone. You shouldn't really be hearing them at all. You should be there. Your wife is dead, and you're still here, still lying in bed, watching the cat-like figure stretching serenely beside you. Remember this moment, because as soon as you leave this tranquil room, it will be gone. The sneaking around, the dodging of rules, the secret phone calls, it's over now. She's gone, and so is the life you didn't think meant that much to you. Your wife is dead, and you weren't there. You weren't there at the end. You weren't there to stop her depriving herself from life. You weren't even there to discover her motionless corpse lying lifeless in your lavish bed that played host to so many before her. Your wife is dead. Why weren't you there? Because you were in bed with another woman. Because you had been disloyal to her from the beginning. Because a few days ago you deserted her without a second thought. Was it worth it? A few more nights of pleasure to discard the life you had built together? Was it worth destroying every chance you had of happiness? You won't find it again, not after the distress you've caused. She opened herself up to you, her innermost thoughts on display, the definition of vulnerable. But you couldn't cope. Call yourself a man. Your wife is dead. Can you remember the moment you started on the path of adultery? Can you remember the dusky hotel room, the smell of nauseatingly sweet perfume mingling with the sensual aroma of champagne, the heady mixture filling your lungs, and you had the feeling you never wanted to leave the extravagant suite? Can you remember the flirtatious giggle and bewitching bottle green eyes that you tried so hard to avoid? Lips pressing gently on yours, and silky raven black hair sweeping across you as butterflies emerged in your stomach. Yes, of course you can. But can you remember her name and those that came after? Your wife is dead, and you couldn't imagine the consequences. You couldn't imagine her ongoing condition would spiral so out of control. Her life was wavering as she found herself her only company. There was no immediate effect at the time, was there? No one was getting hurt, were they? Not at the time. It was just some fun. Your wife is dead, and who found her? They did, your children. They woke up to find their mummy unmoving, unseeing, sick in agony, in a human's most contented position. They wailed her name over and over again. They shook her frantically, their young hearts racing, to wake her, but to no avail. They removed the empty tube from her hand. They thought it was going to make her better, the sweets that only mummies can eat. Her lifeless indigo eyes will be staring at them every time they close theirs, the blankness gazing at them for what will be an eternity of could-have-beens and what-ifs. Your wife is dead. They're never going to forgive you. It's them who are the victims. It's them who will grow up without her. One day they'll find out it was you. It was you who hurt her so much that she couldn't take it any longer. And you knew it was wrong. You knew it would tear her apart. Yet you carried on. Your wife is dead, and you left. You left her, your children, and your life behind. It's tragic. A middle-aged man trying to swap lives with a younger man, only to steal hers instead. You know why she did it. You know you caused it, and you know there isn't anything you can do to change it. Your wife is dead. Will you be there later to kiss your children goodnight?